The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for Monday, December 1st, reveal that Bill Spencer will trash Ridge Forrester and Brooke Logan Forrester as he tempts Katie Logan with a big pitch. As the week of December 5 gets underway, Katie will complain to Bill about getting blindsided at Forrester Creations. It came as quite a surprise when Katie found out they were bringing an outside PR team to clean up the Luna Nozawa mess. Katie has been dealing with a lot of family drama thanks to Luna, so everyone seems to assume she needs time to deal with all that. This isn't about Katie doing a poor job, but it still stung to know she was being replaced when an important crisis arose. Bill will play up how Katie deserves better treatment than she's been getting at Forrester Creations. The fact that Katie has to answer to Ridge and Brooke will irritate Bill, who'll trash them a bit on Monday's B&B episode. Of course, Bill will have to tread carefully since Brooke is Katie's beloved sister, but he'll still make it known that Katie's stuck in a bad situation. Perhaps Bill will mostly blame Ridge for signing off on the new PR team without really considering Katie's feelings. Bill may argue that Brooke is just Ridge's yes woman and add that Katie needs to be calling her own shots. Whatever the case, Bill will deliver a tempting proposal and try to lure Katie to Spencer Publications for a fresh start. Now that Bill has reunited with Katie on a personal level, he'll think it's time for them to come back together on a professional level too. Bill will push Katie to return to Spencer Publications and will play up the idea of Will joining the family company as well. That would be a dream come true for Bill, so he'll hope Katie caves in and can convince Will to do the same. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say Bill will give Katie updates on this professional curveball and count on some good news, so she'll have a lot to mull over. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint that Sheila Sharp's Haye's Finnegan obsession may return. Will Sheila's marriage failure trigger a setback that brings more chaos to Steffi Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan's lives? Following all the Luna Nozawa horror, Steffi and her family finally got some peace around the Thanksgiving table. It was nice to see some heartwarming moments, but we all know the uplifting holiday was just the calm before the storm. Steffi may have offered up a clue about the trouble ahead when she spoke about everything they had to be grateful for. During Steffi's speech, she insisted they were safer than they'd ever been. In the world of daytime dramas, it's never a good idea to get too comfortable. It seems like Steffi is letting her guard down and settling into what could be a false sense of security. Since characters manage to rise from the grave pretty often on soaps, there's no guarantee Luna is gone for good. However, there could be other threats that rise up in the meantime, maybe even a familiar one that Steffi and Finn thought was behind them. Ever since Sheila got together with Deacon Sharp, she's found a better path. Sheila obviously still makes mistakes occasionally, but there's a difference in keeping secrets and committing the horrible crimes she used to commit. B&B fans keep hearing Sheila say she's not that person anymore, but is that really the case? There may be a wilder, scarier version of Sheila lurking just under the surface. That version of Sheila could come roaring back if Deacon gets knocked off the pedestal she's put him on. Sheila is thrilled to be back together with Deacon and credits Taylor Hayes with saving her marriage, but her world may fall apart if they have an affair. That's the kind of thing that could leave Sheila looking elsewhere for comfort, so she may turn to little Hayes as someone who could perhaps learn to love her unconditionally. Sheila might decide her precious grandson is the only one who won't let her down and doesn't know enough to have turned against her. In the November 26th episode, Sheila acknowledged she'd been thinking about Finn and Hayes. Although Sheila isn't obsessing yet, that could change if Deacon betrays her and isn't a strong guiding presence in her life any longer. Will Sheila spiral out of control again and develop a Hayes fixation? Could that lead to a kidnapping crisis and rip away that sense of safety that Steffi feels? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers say Sheila may get updates on some cheating news and spin out, so stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers reveal that John Finn Finnegan deserves a new baby girl. Could B&B give Finn a fresh start daughter with Steffi Forrester Finnegan after the Luna Nozawa disaster that's played out? Finn loves being Hayes Finnegan's dad and is an excellent stepdad to Kelly Spencer, too. Although Finn adores Kelly as if she were his own flesh and blood, he respects Liam Spencer's role as her true father. Finn was robbed of the chance to raise Luna, so that's something he wishes he could go back and change. If Finn had known Luna's real paternity from the get-go, he would have stepped up for her and given her the guidance she needed. Perhaps if Papi Nozawa had told Finn the truth and let him be part of Luna's life, things would have turned out differently. That's something Finn's been thinking about, but he knows what's done is done. Now that Luna is deceased, at least until some story twist comes along and potentially changes that, all Finn can do is move forward. Could a new baby with Steffi eventually become part of that plan? On social media, there are plenty of fans rooting for Steffi and Finn to have another Cinnabon. If a pregnancy storyline happens, maybe Finn and Steffi could have a baby girl this time around. Finn deserves to be there for his daughter from day one, especially since he wasn't there for Luna's birth and all the milestones that followed. Papi kept Finn in the dark, so he was only in Luna's life as an adoptive cousin from time to time. We have no doubt that Finn would be an amazing father to another child with Steffi. Finn's proven he's got some great daddy skills through all his sweet scenes with Haye and Kelly. It's just a matter of whether B&B writers want to expand Finn and Steffi's family. It could at least become a topic of discussion at some point, so stay tuned for updates on any baby news ahead for Steffi and Finn. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Finn and Steffi have some major life developments ahead, no matter what, so stay tuned. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal that Ridge Forrester's retirement push will enrage Eric Forrester. This father-son feud will be back on, so there's much more drama to come between Eric and Ridge. Of course, this isn't the first time Eric's felt put out to pasture. B&B already told a similar story back when Eric was seriously ill and felt shoved aside by Ridge. That led to Ridge and Eric's fashion designer showdown, which Ridge let Eric think he won after finding out about his illness. Ridge wanted to give Eric the gift of a victory since he assumed his dad was on the verge of passing away. After Eric learned the truth, he decided it was about the nicest thing anyone had ever done for him. Eric was touched over Ridge's attempt to give him some joy on the way to the grave. However, things are different now since Eric survived after all and has made a full recovery. Instead of just kicking back with Donna Logan Forrester and enjoying life outside the office, Eric is determined to remain a pivotal part of the company. Unfortunately, that'll lead to another round of clashing with Ridge during the week of December 5. Ridge will act like they have everything under control and will push Eric to go off into the sunset. Although Ridge will urge Eric to embrace retirement and relax, that won't be what Eric wants at all. Eric will point out that Ridge isn't in his shoes and doesn't understand his perspective. After almost dying, Eric must feel like this is his second chance to accomplish all the things he wants to accomplish. As far as Eric's concerned, he can't step away from the company when the universe gave him an opportunity to strengthen his legacy. Ridge, on the other hand, may think Eric is hurting more than helping by trying to boss him around. Since Ridge wants to be the boss now instead, that'll bring some escalating tension in the coming episodes. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Eric and Ridge's hostility could lead to troubling news at Forrester Creations. We've all likely been there when dating, faced with a late one or two, or how about when it's time to call it quits? How did you wrangle that situation? Well, The Bold and the Beautiful co-stars Jacqueline McInnes Wood and Tanner Novlan weighed in on some things that might help you in the future. Though the stars are both married in real life, Wood to Elan Rispoli and Tanner to Kayla Ewell, they clearly have some input from past experiences in the dating world, and in a video posted by the CBS soap, they gave their take on a few fun questions. The video began with a statement taken straight from a soap storyline, which gave them a laugh. Then they were asked if it was okay to take an ex on a trip. While Wood gave a hard pass, Novlan gave the question pause, which pushed his co-star to insist he answer it. And his wife jumped into the comments with a laugh and a heart emoji. Oh, and how about saying I love you on a first date? Both agreed on this one. And when asked about love at first sight, both believed in the old phrase. But when it came to being late to a date, they disagreed, and another question, breaking up by a text, left one of them saying, "Oops." Watch the video below to see how they answered and what question had Wood stating, "I should tell my character that." Do you agree with the stars? Share your thoughts in the comments section. The Bold and the Beautiful aired only 3 episodes this week due to the holiday schedule, so the level of storytelling was minimal. The episodes focused mostly on the fallout from Luna's death and the Thanksgiving holiday. However, despite less explosive performances, one of the key plot points that differed from the rest this week was Elektra receiving texts from Luna's alleged assailant and then having an eventual face-to-face conversation. In a week, build on reactions and maintaining the tension, Linnea Grace was an easy lock for the honors. Although an odd choice, Elektra served as the soap's emotional lens this week, in the aftermath of the roller coaster that was Luna's escape and subsequent death. Due to her connection to Will and the eventual killer, she was at the center of key reaction scenes. Grace played the reveal of Luna's vehicular eliminator with a mix of shock, fear, and confusion. Her subtle expressions throughout the Dylan scenes helped temper what could have been even more over-the-top ridiculous than it already was. Also, watching Grace handle Elektra's unraveling, believing she was being haunted by an unknown assailant, helped sell the shock and awe. Elektra's instinct recently has been to protect Will, and she's thankfully focused less on her own victim mentality. Having Elektra protect and comfort others has not only given her performance itself some depth, but, in the long term, it's helping make the character more dynamic. Bold is the type of show that thrives on letting the camera linger on its characters, and Grace has perfected the art of facial reactions, selling the gravity of Dylan exposing herself as the person responsible for taking Luna's life. She could have overacted the scene like some of her fellow stars, but she told just enough of a story with her facial expressions and body language that it worked. This week of The Bold and the Beautiful needed authenticity after such a long period of dramatic spectacle involving Luna, so shout out to Grace for layering her performance with believable vulnerability. The fallout from Luna's death called for genuine, honest reactions from the characters, and if someone had to be chosen, her work felt the most consistent and truthful throughout the mini-week of episodes. Despite some fans who may not see the appeal of Elektra's character, her prominent placement in storylines reveals that she is not going anywhere anytime soon. Grace showed this week how powerful subtle acting can be, and perhaps that is something viewers could focus on if looking for her strong suits. The quieter week helped reveal some standout work from the actress, and, without much high-stakes drama to anchor the episodes, she served as the emotional heart of the story. The impact of the Dylan reveal and her reaction to it left a lasting impression that will have ramifications into the following week. Elektra is undoubtedly going to insist on Dylan revealing everything to others impacted by Luna, so she will continue to lead the story in some capacity. Reaction-driven storytelling isn't always the right way to go or lead to breakout performances, but this week, Grace brought something real and layered. Sometimes the strongest performer isn't the one who cries, screams, and yells, but instead, it's someone who gives the story a human feel. Grace's work this week as Elektra on The Bold and the Beautiful helped viewers reach the climax of the Luna killer reveal, and she proved that the aftermath of the shocking moments can be just as compelling as the moments themselves. His fans may not see him on The Bold and the Beautiful as much as they'd like, given that Thomas is back in France. And although the character is no longer engaged to Paris, Matthew Atkinson's love life couldn't be better. The CBS soap star celebrated his second wedding anniversary this month and sent his beautiful bride, Brittany Ratledge, a very sweet message. Still choosing the mountains, the mystery, and you, Atkinson posted on his official Instagram, along with a lovely video that captured their special day in 2023. 2 years and 1 baby later, I couldn't be more grateful my partner in it all is you. 11/8/23 will always be one of the greatest memories of my life. To which Ratledge replied, "A love that gets sweeter with time. I adore you now more than ever." The video contained shots of the bridal party, the gorgeous scenery, and of course, the happy couple as they said, "I do." And as we reported in 2023, many of his castmates were pictured in attendance, including Catherine Kelly Lang, Kimberlyn Brown, Ashley Jones, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, and more. And of that little baby he mentioned, the couple welcomed their first child together in October 2024, and Atkinson shared a first glimpse of their son back in May. Welcome to The Bold and the Beautiful Daily YAPP for a quick, and by that, I mean you're already halfway done, recap of the most amazing or what the heck did we just watch moments on today's episode. Let's get to it. Remember when Luna was boring, insane, and falling for the equally boring RJ Forrester? We got a glimpse of her on Thanksgiving before the Bold and the Beautiful realized how boring she was and decided to reverse course with the character. But Luna was certainly not the focus of this episode. Instead, it was the gowns and Eric's precarious condition, which only Donna and RJ were supposed to know about. But because RJ had a big mouth, Ridge and Brooke also knew. That is why Ridge allowed Eric to win this fashion showdown challenge. But the secret was not yet out in this episode. Instead, we got to see all the silent models strut their stuff in the showroom while Esther Valentine oohed and awed and Marie Osmond made snide remarks. And we were left with a very corny episode that highlighted an absolutely pointless story because, of course, Eric was saved by a last-minute miracle cure. However, we feel we are headed down this road again as Eric seems to be reclaiming his office next week, just as he did before his death and dying fashion showdown story began. Didn't we resolve this 2 years ago already? Didn't Eric return to his office and make up with Ridge? If we find out Eric is dying again, we give up. Want more details? We got you! Soap Central has the best full B&B recaps on the internet. You can even go back over 30 years and read each and every one of them. If you can't wait until the next episode, we have daily spoilers too. And whatever you do this weekend, do not, seriously, do not forget to read the 2 scoops for some laughs in the as close as we can come to being a watching party without actually being a show. And the best part is if you agree or disagree, we want to know. As always, share your comments below. Love her or hate her. There is no denying Luna's impact on the last year of The Bold and the Beautiful. She was placed in a prominent position and wreaked havoc as the #1 villain in Los Angeles. There was nothing she wouldn't do to get what she wanted, which was everything a viewer could want from a daytime television bad guy. Despite the final days of Luna's reign of terror jumping the shark and entering into utter ridiculousness, her exit leaves a void in the villain space on the show, and someone will have to step into the role to keep up the soapy drama that everyone tunes in for. Since discovering that Sheila was his biological mother on his wedding day to Steffi, Finn has fought for years to separate himself from Sheila's twisted legacy. However, in the aftermath of Luna's death, a sinister look overtook Sheila's son, and it gave the impression that the untimely demise of his daughter might have chipped away at his calm and collected personality. The grief and guilt have been coming from every direction over the last few years, and it might finally be enough to push him toward a colder side of his personality. One of Finn's assertions lately has been his desire to protect his family. Perhaps the primal urge to keep his wife and children safe will be the very thing that sends him over the edge. Finn could become obsessed with keeping them away from harm, resorting to extreme measures. Finn has been a squeaky clean good guy for far too long, and a slip into morally gray territory would have a monumental impact, as it would be something fresh and unexpected for the character. Finn turning to the dark side would have immediate impacts on Steffi, Ridge, and Lee, and create a significant ripple effect across all of Bold's families. The mere idea of Finn transforming into a twisted version of himself that mirrors Sheila's past could do wonders to shake up the canvas. It would also set up a long-term story arc that wouldn't rely on temporary characters meant to serve as shock value villains for a limited arc. Will grew up in the shadow of his billionaire tycoon father, and he's no stranger to the ruthless, vindictive nature of Bill. The pressure to live up to Bill's level of success could finally get to him, twisting his entire view of the world. For now, he's comfortable at Forrester. But if Katie leaves, as all signs point to happening, Will might not be too far behind her. There's something about his boy next door, charming exterior, that would make the turn to the dark side somehow more chilling. What fans have seen from Will thus far is a young man with a strong sense of protection for his loved ones. However, it would be a fantastic twist for him to start using his intelligence to manipulate, rather than protect. It would be a fresh take on the angle, adding a new layer to a stale character. He could become a younger version of Dollar Bill, learning from the best while bringing his own unique edge. It wouldn't be far-fetched for the stress of the Luna debacle to cause him to snap and grow tired of the nice guy persona. It would also be fascinating to view Will's attitude shift from the perspective of his mother, Katie, and the other Spencers, Bill and Liam. Even throwing Wyatt back into the mix could add another element to the story. Like Finn, this is an example of how the series could gain another long-term villain without doing a quick rating stunt. Will turning into a copy of his father's former personality also be something nobody really expects. So seeing the next generation Spencer man embrace the temptation of evil could take viewers on a fun ride. The most likely option is to return to the well that has provided entertaining storylines time and time again, and drag Sheila back to the depths of darkness. While it's nice to see Sheila make the most out of her new lease on life, there's no denying the impact she has when she's at her worst. Sheila stepping back into the delusional and dangerous mindset that viewers have witnessed for decades always lands. The death of her granddaughter creates a natural opening for her to reclaim her title as the most evil woman in Los Angeles. Sheila's characters thrive the most when she feels cornered or replaced, and lately, she's teetering on the edge of both. Deacon returned to her side, but if she senses the ongoing connection between her husband and Taylor, she may make good on her threats to kill the good doctor. She would view it as the ultimate betrayal, and she could cause widespread damage if they pushed her over the edge. The kind of emotional blow of seeing Deacon and Taylor together in any inappropriate way could be what finally makes her snap back into her devilish ways. Sheila also remains isolated from her son and grandson, and her desperation to be part of their lives could once again lead her into a series of unfortunate choices. Returning to villainy also would cause a great deal of tension across every major family in Los Angeles, with everyone waiting for her next move. When Sheila embraces her dark side, she brings viewers a sense of excitement because anything could happen next. If the series is looking for a prominent threat to take the mantle from Luna, Sheila reclaiming that spot is the easiest and most logical path. The Forrester Creations fashion wars could return amid Luna's death and PR crisis. On Thanksgiving Day, The Bold and the Beautiful aired a rebroadcast of episode number 9137, which originally aired on October 30th, 2023. The episode shows Eric and Ridge taking part in the fashion wars. The soap could be teasing a new storyline on the horizon. At the time, Eric and Ridge were ready to send their designs down the runway. The air was tense in the Forrester Creations showroom. Each of the designs looked beautiful. Esther had a difficult time choosing the winning dress. Meanwhile, Countess von Frankfurt was annoyed by her. Lauren tried her best to help her friend out. Esther was blown away by the designs. She also caught Charlie's eye. The two couldn't help but flirt during the fashion show. Meanwhile, Brooke noticed Donna and Katie speaking in hushed tones in the corner. She interjected herself into their conversation to see what they were talking about. She noticed Eric's coughing fit. Brooke asked her sisters to explain what was going on. He suffered a secret health crisis at that time. Eric nervously looked behind the curtain at the designs. Then, he gushed over RJ and Luna's adorable relationship. They seemed like such a cute couple then. Remember when Luna was such a good girl? She came a long way and was left for dead. Eric was confident he was going to win this fashion war. He was finally going to get back at Ridge for relegating him and his team to the design office. As for Ridge, he was ready to teach his dad a lesson. He also thought he had this competition in the bag. B&B is supposed to usher in the return of the fashion wars. However, Forrester Creations is reeling from Luna's death, which sparked a major PR crisis. Since Katie's taking time out of work, Carter had to hire a crisis team. Who could usher back the return of the fashion wars? Will Eric and Ridge have another fashion showdown? Or will it be Hope, who's planning a big return for Hope for the future? She wants to have her brother Deke by her side. This could make Steffi so jealous that she starts her own line. Out of pettiness, she could rehire Thomas to work with her. We're excited to see where this soap is headed next. It was a tough year for many characters on B&B. Thanksgiving has arrived on The Bold and the Beautiful. It's a time for the Forresters, Logans, and Spencers to gather and reflect on all they're thankful for. After a tough year, there's a lot for everyone to be grateful for. The Spencers are one family that's experienced their share of drama this year. Liam faced a dire medical crisis after being diagnosed with a brain tumor. However, Liam's brush with death turned out to be a scam concocted by Grace. Although Liam's life was turned upside down by Grace's scheme, one positive is that it reunited him with hope. Liam wasn't the only Spencer man who reunited with their true love. Bill and Katie grew closer as they helped their son Will through a crisis. This motivated Bill to declare his love for Katie, and in a surprising yet beautiful twist, she agreed to give him a second chance. Speaking of Will, his life was turned upside down because of Luna. Now that she's gone for good, Will can move forward with his life, which includes Elektra. Elektra has been a huge support to Will throughout the Luna ordeal, and hopefully they'll be in it for the long haul. Brooke and Ridge had yet another breakup this year. A newly single Ridge wasted no time in returning to Taylor, yet it was obvious his heart still belonged to Brooke. Ridge's realization that Brooke is his destiny became evident during their trip to Italy. Ridge watched in horror as Brooke fled with Nick and fell off his boat. The fashion designer sprang into action by jumping into the ocean to rescue his Logan. Brooke's near-death experience gave Ridge the wake-up call he needed. Upon returning to Los Angeles, he ended his engagement to Taylor and married Brooke. As for Taylor, although she was heartbroken by Ridge dumping her, she might have a new man in her life. Taylor's grown closer to Deacon through the Haye, all the therapy sessions. Although they're trying to ignore their feelings, it's apparent that a T-Con romance is on the way. The Forresters started 2025 with an overhaul of their company. Hope and Carter planned a business coup to take over Forrester Creations. Yet, the Forresters, especially Steffi, wasn't going down without a fight. With help from Daphne, Steffi managed to get FC back after Carter had second thoughts. Now that the Forresters are back in charge, there have been more glamorous fashion shows that fans love. Speaking of Carter and Hope, they thankfully kept their jobs even after their coup. Carter remains FC's go-to attorney, and Hope has had her fashion line, Hope for the Future, reinstated. Dylan visits Elektra at Forrester Creations. Who is she, and what does she have to say? The twists and turns continue on The Bold and the Beautiful. Luna Nozawa died after she was struck by a vehicle. Ms. Dylan returns on the soap, which suggests that there's more to the story. Luna made her great escape from prison. She snuck out in a laundry cart and made her way to the beach house. She thought she could have a future with Will Spencer. Luna got more than she bargained for. She got a taste of reality when Will rejected her advances. He wasn't going to entertain her delusions. Luna confessed that she suffered a miscarriage. Then, she fled once the authorities arrived. She thought she could outrun the police and most of Los Angeles, who were searching for her. When she stepped onto the road, an oncoming vehicle approached. The car ended her storyline and life abruptly. According to the B&B video preview, Elektra gets a surprise visitor. She thought her past with Luna was behind her. Elektra is seen working at the office when she gets a surprise visit from her friend Dylan. Elektra is ecstatic to see her old friend again. She wanted to immediately catch up on the time that had passed. But Dylan was hesitant about sharing what's going on in her life. It seemed like she was keeping a big secret. Dylan admitted that she has something to confess. As B&B viewers may recall, Dylan was the teacher at Haye's makeshift art school, which Liam helped set up at the beach house when he thought he was dying. Luna used this opportunity to get closer to Haye and his family. She was desperate to get to know her biological Finn, who shunned her. And so, she held Dylan and Steffi captive when she got them alone. Then, she nearly committed a mass shooting, which also involved Liam and her grandmother Sheila. Meanwhile, Dylan was in the back room, listening to everything that was going down. Clearly, Dylan knows something about Luna's sudden death. She could have struck her down out of revenge. But this secret will have a funny way of coming back to haunt her. It might not stay secret for long, and Dylan will have to turn herself in, ending her teaching career. The Forrester Thanksgivings are often the highlight of The Bold and the Beautiful during the holiday week. The Bold and the Beautiful has hosted quite the Thanksgiving gatherings over the years. From food mishaps to shocking family moments, the Day of Thanks has had some memorable moments. After a non-traditional B&B Thanksgiving, Taylor was supposed to marry Ridge. That was when the truth about CPS being contacted by Thomas was revealed, and the marriage didn't take place. During Thanksgiving 2018, Quinn was married to Eric and hosted the meal for the family at their home. Despite most of the family being at peace, Pam wanted Eric with Donna. The women were snarky, and Pam ensured that Quinn got into something before dinner began. However, her plan didn't keep Eric's wife from being at the table. Eventually, during the sharing of why everyone was thankful, Pam did acknowledge Quinn for including her in the meal. A Forrester Thanksgiving wouldn't be complete without some food drama. B&B saw the Forrester kitchen get an upgrade in technology, which caused chaos in the kitchen. Charlie was struggling to get things to work correctly when Brooke and Katie stepped up to help. The end resulted in a cloud of smoke filling the kitchen, accompanied by screams. It was comical, which provided a welcome change in pace from the seriousness of other situations happening within the family. Steffi and Finn have a lot to be thankful this year after dealing with chaos. This Thanksgiving, Steffi and Finn have a lot to be thankful for. The super couple endured a great deal of emotional trauma and chaos on The Bold and the Beautiful. Some of these issues tested their marriage, but they emerged stronger than ever on the other side. Steffi and Finner hosted Thanksgiving at the Cliff House. They are joined by Kelly and Hayes. They invited Taylor and Ridge to their home. Everyone was happy to be together, despite the drama they faced in the past year. According to the B&B preview, Ayos, an unexpected guest arrived, which meant they had to make room at the dinner table. In the meantime, the family enjoyed a delicious meal cooked by Steffi and Finn. The couple also shared what they're thankful for this year, especially after the chaos has finally died down. Steffi and Finn have a lot to be thankful for. The most important thing is that they stayed together amid the chaos. They didn't let any of the drama involving Liam's health, scare, or Luna's psychotic tendencies get to them. The couple proved that they're stronger together. Steffi proved that she has grown. She allowed Finn to share his real feelings about his daughter's death. He mourned the loss of the cousin he had grown up with, rather than the daughter he had never gotten to know. As a result, the couple is grateful to have some peace and quiet in their lives. Now that Luna Nozawa has been declared dead, they can enjoy a peaceful marriage. This couple deserves to have a little mundanity in their lives, especially when Steffi left town earlier this year to focus on her emotional well-being and mental health. Additionally, they can be grateful for the safety and security their family has finally regained, now that the persistent threat has been removed from their lives. They can breathe easier these days. Not even Sheila has been bothering their family these days. Sheila proved that she has changed by respecting her son's boundaries. Steffi and Finn are grateful to Sheila for saving them from Luna's violent tendencies. But that doesn't mean that they're welcoming her with open arms. The Bold and the Beautiful introduced Dylan as Hayes Finnegan's art teacher a few months ago, but we don't know anything about the character other than her passion for finger painting. Word on the internet is Dylan might be related to someone on the soap. In fact, Dylan might have accidentally unalived her secret sister. Here's what's coming up next on Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers down below. Dylan will be front and center next week on B&B, as she continues trying to make amends for running over escaped prisoner Luna Nozawa. But now that you mention it, Dylan looks a little bit like Luna. Electra Forrester was shocked when Hayes' art teacher popped up at her apartment and confessed to killing Killer Luna with her car. But that's just the beginning of her apology tour. According to Bold and Beautiful spoilers, Dylan will decide to pay Steffi Forrester and Dr. John Finnegan. In fact, she will crash their turkey dinner on Thanksgiving and announce she's the one who wiped Luna off the map. While Dylan is running around town and introducing herself to everyone as Luna's killer, will someone recognize her? If Hayes' art teacher wants to apologize to Luna's father, won't she pay Poppy Nozawa a visit next? More importantly, will Poppy recognize her? The soap rumor mill has hinted for months that Luna Nozawa could have a secret sister. Some Bold and the Beautiful theories even point to Poppy having 2 babies with Finn and deciding to give one up for adoption because it was too much. Finn and her family would have never been the wiser because she wasn't around when she was pregnant with Luna or giving birth. Imagine the irony of Dylan accidentally killing her own sister. Or did Dylan and Luna already meet? Were they working together? Do you think the twin twist could be true? The bold and the beautiful spoilers are in for Monday, December 1st, 2025. In the next episode, fans can expect Dylan to confess to Steffi Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan. Meanwhile, Bill Spencer has a proposition for Katie Logan. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Just a quick programming note before we get to the spoilers. There is no new episode on Friday, November 28th, 2025. Don't worry though, regular programming is supposed to resume on Monday, December 1st. Let's start off with Luna Nozawa's. The escaped inmate was running from the cops when she jumped in front of the car. The driver ended up killing Luna instantly. While some people might be sad, like Sheila Carter-Sharp, most are relieved. In an interesting twist, Deputy Chief Bradley Baker said they don't know who hit Luna. However, Dylan told Electra Forrester that the police know everything. Something doesn't quite ring true here. Is Baker lying or is Dylan, and why? In any case, Dylan was totally freaking out to Electra. Next, the art teacher will go to face Steffi and Finn. In a weekly preview clip, we see Dylan emotionally admitting that she murdered Finn's daughter. Both Steffi and Finn look stunned, but it was an accident. Plus, Dylan's actions might have saved multiple people from Luna's killer intentions. Steffi will likely be fine with Dylan's actions and will understand it was just an accident. Dylan keeps saying she has never taken a human life before, so this could have her going through some mental health issues. When Finn hears the admission, how will he react? Even though Luna was a monster, that was still Finn's flesh and blood. I'm surprised he's not feeling sadder about Luna's death. There is also Bill, who has a proposition for Katie. The man knows that Ridge Forrester hired an outside public relations company to help Katie with the Luna fallout. While Katie was appreciative, it seems Bill is thinking something else. The man tells Katie that if she came to Spencer Publications, nobody could tell her what to do, including Ridge and Steffi. However, that is a big decision for Katie, as most of her family works at FC. If Katie jumps ship, will Will Spencer do the same thing? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, December 1st, 25? Who killed Luna Nozawa this time? The Bold and the Beautiful just kicked off a holiday murder mystery on the CBS soap. Whoever snuffed out Luna on the highway didn't stick around to celebrate. But it also wasn't public knowledge that Luna had a miscarriage in prison, and that little piece of info is going to be huge down the line. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say that the hit-and-run killer thinks they were running over a pregnant inmate. You can't argue that it was an accident when the driver is bragging about their crime in Electra Forrester's inbox. So, who on the CBS soap is evil enough to take out Will Spencer Jr.'s baby too? Will Spencer Jr. and his parents would be at the top of the lists of suspects, except they had no idea Luna had a miscarriage in prison before her escape. Luna told Will she lost the baby right before she ran off into the night, trying to elude the police. Dollar Bill and Katie Logan still thought Luna was carrying their grandchild, so they wouldn't have killed her. In fact, anyone who knew that Luna was pregnant with Will's baby would have thought twice before hitting her with their car. There's no way the miscarriage news spread that quickly. The driver was under the impression the inmate was pregnant and they didn't care. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say this storyline is only going to get more creepy when the driver is revealed. The rumor mill is hinting Luna's former BFF Remy Price might be responsible. Do you think the person who ran Luna down knew she was no longer pregnant? Was Remy really okay with ending Luna's little embryo's life? Let us know what you think in the comments below, and keep checking back here on Celebrating the Soaps for more B&B spoilers and updates. Next week on The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan will continue to take responsibility for killing Luna Nozawa. But soap spoilers say there's something suspicious about her confession, and there will be a major twist down the line. Why would Dylan confess to a crime she didn't commit, and what could she possibly gain from it? Keep reading to find out. Is Dylan really the one who ran down inmate Luna Nozawa, or is her confession fake? Here's what's coming up next on Bold and Beautiful, spoilers down below. Haye's art teacher showed up on Electra Forrester's doorstep and announced she was the one who had sent her the mysterious text. Dylan confessed to Electra that she is the driver who killed Luna when she ran into the road. Despite the fact that Luna tied her up and took her hostage and threatened to shoot her, Dylan swears it was an accident. Interestingly, Dylan added to her confession that the police were aware, and she called them as soon as she got home and reported what happened. Electra Forrester has no reason not to believe Dylan, but how do we know she is really the driver that ran Luna over? Shouldn't someone check with Date? Baker and confirm Dylan really did turn herself in? For all we know, she could be working with Luna Nozawa. The Bold and the Beautiful just introduced Dylan, and we don't know much about the character, except she was Haye's art teacher and apparently ran over Luna. Viewers are convinced she's a red herring or is working for someone else. Apparently, she's also friends with Electra and feels comfortable confessing to killing someone to her. According to B&B spoilers, there could be a lot more to Dylan's confession. One popular theory is she befriended Luna after the whole shooting ordeal and helped her fake her death. Another possibility is Dylan was just taking the fall for someone else. If someone close to Will Spencer Jr. killed his baby mama, it would make sense that they needed a fall guy. Luna's miscarriage wasn't public knowledge when she escaped. Whoever mowed her down thought they killed Will's UN-born baby too. Do you think that Dylan's confession is the real deal? Or is there more to her story? Share your thoughts and theories down below and keep checking back here on Celebrating the Soaps for daily bold and beautiful spoilers and news. The Bold and the Beautiful viewers have watched Bill Spencer struggle since his breakup with Poppy Nozawa. Dollar Bill has been taking back-to-back hits, financially and emotionally this year. But all that is about to change. All signs are pointing to 2026 being the year of Bill Spencer on Bold and Beautiful. If you are a Dollar Bill fan, you are in for a treat. Here's what's coming up next on the daytime soap. Spoilers down below. Bill Spencer has been sinking on Bold and Beautiful. The Spencer Publications tycoon was once considered one of the most charming and powerful men in Los Angeles. Everything came crashing down when Bill and Poppy Nozawa split, and he learned Luna Nozawa wasn't his daughter. Then Bill made the mistake of getting Luna pardoned, and that blew up in his face. To add insult to injury, he thought his son Liam Spencer was dying and got scammed out of millions. Plus, he kept throwing himself at his ex-wife, Katie Logan, and getting shot down. According to Bold and Beautiful spoilers, Bill Spencer's luck is finally turning around, and he will be rising back to the top in Los Angeles. Of course, that means he will also start bumping heads with his rival, Ridge Forrester, again. Dollar Bill will have his Katie back on his arm, and Spencer Publications will start thriving again. Word on the internet is Bill might even get his prodigal son Will Spencer Jr. back at the family company too, rather than at Forrester Creations. Everything will start falling into place for the Spencer family again on the CBS soap, and we can't wait to have them front and center on the daytime show. Are you a Dollar Bill fan? Are you looking forward to this new season for the character? This week on The Bold and the Beautiful, the Forrester gang will gather around their ridiculously fancy tables to carve the turkey. Taylor Hayes is spending the holidays single, but we all know she's not lonely and has her eye on a local restaurant owner. Is her ex going to come crawling back when he realizes she is moving on? Here's what's coming up next on Bold and the Beautiful. Spoilers down below. Deacon Sharp and Taylor Hayes' chemistry is undeniable. The Il Giardino owner is trying to work things out with his wife, Sheila Carter, but we all see the writings on the wall. If Deacon and Taylor don't hit the sheet soon, viewers at home will be shocked. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers hint it won't be long before Taylor's family begins to notice that she is glowing and clearly crushing on somebody. When Ridge realizes that Taylor is really moving on, will he start having second thoughts about marrying Brooke Logan? It's obvious that Ridge doesn't want to be with Taylor and commit to her, but he also doesn't want her to move on with anyone else either. When Ridge dumped Taylor, he expected it to debilitate her. The fact that his ex could care less that he married her rival and seems to be thinking about someone else will definitely be a blow to the designer's ego. Ridge Forrester isn't exactly a fan of Deacon Sharp. They can stand to be in the same room as each other, but a few decades ago, the two men were fighting over Brooke. Will Ridge's animosity grow when he learns that Deacon is sleeping with another one of his exes? In Deacon's defense, there aren't a whole lot single women in Los Angeles that Ridge hasn't been married to. Do you think Ridge will start to have second thoughts? Will he start hanging around his ex again when he realizes she is hanging out with someone else? Are you hoping Deacon and Taylor end up together? Let us know down below and keep checking back here on Soap Opera Spy for more B&B spoilers and news. The Bold and the Beautiful fans all can't help but wonder, will the original Taylor ever return to the show? And no, we are not talking about Krita Allen. Instead, we are talking about Hunter Tylo. The character of Taylor Hayes was originally played by actress Hunter Tylo. Unfortunately, she never came back to the show and was eventually replaced by Krista Allen, and again by Rebecca Budig. It has been reported that Krista was fired from the soap back in 2023, and while a lot of fans do miss seeing Krista on the small screen, they miss seeing Hunter Tylo even more. Of course, the internet certainly did have a lot to say about the matter. Some even commented with, "Unlikely, given all the interviews she's done lately about her time on the show," in which she painted it in a bad light. But anything is possible in showbiz. Krista was the right choice, and they bungled that up. I'm pretty sure Taylor and Deacon will hook up. When they do, Sheila finds out that will be the end for Taylor. Another critic wrote, "They had a great recast in Krista Allen. I don't understand why they let her go. Rebecca Budig is so miscast in this role." And then there was this comment as well. Like the original Ridge, she is visibly too old to be believable in this once incredibly popular love triangle. The actress who plays Brooke really won the genetic lottery and looks a lot younger than she actually is. I suspect hair and makeup and fitness eats up a lot of her day, much less week. Even the replacement Ridge honestly looks too old to be bouncing between women, to be honest. It goes without saying that the Bold and the Beautiful fans will have to tune in each and every day to find out what will happen next. The Bold and the Beautiful airs on the CBS network. Check your local listings for items. In the meantime, let us know what you think by leaving us a line with your thoughts in our comments section below. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers reveal there will be no new episode on Thursday, November 27th or Friday, November 28th. As for what's happening on Monday, December 1st, expect Dylan to face Steffi Forrester Finnegan and John Finn Finnegan. Plus, Will Spencer and Electra Forrester overhear a conversation. Meet them reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Dylan, who has just confessed to Electra. The young women are friends and fans, know that for a while, Electra was dropping Hayes Forrester Finnegan off at Dylan's art classes. Deputy Chief Bradley Baker keeps telling everyone that a mystery person mowed Luna Nozawa down. However, Dylan told Electra that the police already know the truth. Both can't be true, so is Baker lying or is Dylan? If someone is lying, why? Steffi has already acknowledged that there are complicated feelings for Finn regarding Luna's death. On the one hand, that was his flesh and blood. On the other hand, she was a dangerous killer. Sin already knows that Luna is dead, but they will get a surprise visit from Dylan. The art teacher will admit that she is the person who killed Luna. Full of tears and trembles, Dylan tells Finn that she's sorry for killing his daughter. Well, it's not like it was on purpose. Read this, The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers, Hope's pre-wedding request for Steffi, asks this favor. While this is shocking, I can't see Finn and Steffi blaming Dylan for what happened. It was an accident. Luna jumped in front of the car, and a manhunt was underway. If that is the whole truth, of course. It seems there are still a few missing pieces in this storyline. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers for the next episode suggest that Bill Spencer has a proposition. The man wants Katie Logan to work at Spencer Publications. The man says that Katie wouldn't have to answer to Ridge Forrester anymore. It's a big decision for Katie, and likely for Will as well. In a preview clip, Electra and Will are standing on the staircase. It appears to be at the Spencer mansion. They are standing still and listening closely to a conversation. It's assumed that Will and Electra hear Bill's proposition to Katie. This could put both Will and Electra in another moral dilemma. Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most on Monday, December 1st, 2025? The Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for the week of December 1st, suggest some twists. For one thing, Eric Forrester and Ridge Forrester have a new conflict. John Finn Finnegan deals with Dylan's confession. Plus, Deacon Sharp is putting Taylor Hayes in danger. Keep reading, and let's talk about what is coming up in the CBS soap opera. Let's start off with Dylan's confession. Fans already saw the art teacher confide in Electra Forrester about Luna Nozawa. Next up, Dylan will face Finn and Steffi Forrester Finnegan. Sin's eyes bug out when Dylan admits she is the person who ran over Luna. While Steffi might secretly be grateful to Dylan, Finn might have more complicated emotions. The doctor knows it was an accident and Luna was out of control. But that was also his daughter. Over with Deacon, he had a lovely Thanksgiving with Sheila Carter Sharp. From that dinner, Deacon mentioned not being able to open up to anyone like Taylor before. Then, Deacon refused to tell his wife his wish. Let me guess, Deacon wishes he could be with Taylor. So, after the holiday, Deacon will likely need another appointment with Taylor. By next week, Sheila could start to become suspicious. The bold and the beautiful spoilers for next week suggest that Forrester Creations will still have to deal with Luna's death going viral. Depending on what the media slants it as, the public might get a very tainted view of what happened to Luna. That could put the spotlight on Will Spencer, Electra Forrester, and Bill Spencer. At FC, the outside PR firm will try to take control. Meanwhile, Bill will eventually have to deal with the reporters wanting answers. As for Deke Sharp, he is staying busy at Forrester Creations. With Hope Logan's wedding coming up, this could be a chance for Deke to really show his best stuff. However, what about Remy Price? The young man promised he would get therapy. If he follows through with that, could Remy end up seeing Taylor? Will therapy get Remy back together with Deke? It was previously teased that someone from Daphne Rose's past could resurface. That hasn't aired yet, but the closer she gets to Carter Walton, the more chances of someone coming in to disrupt the romance. There is also a preview clip that shows Eric and Ridge having another war at the office. Ridge seems to have an issue with Eric's decisions, but which one and why? Which storyline are you looking forward to seeing the most during the week of December 1st, 2025? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Keep watching the soap on CBS or Paramount Plus to find out what happens next. Bold and the Beautiful, spoilers for December 5th, 2025. Expect Hope Logan plotting and Sheila Carter spiraling. As we always do on Early Edition Day, we start with what's coming the rest of this week and then talk about the spoilers for next week. And of course, we have a very short week of episodes on B&B because it is Thanksgiving. I don't know about you guys, I'm already cooking, trying to get ready, and we're going to have no soaps to distract us, which is kind of sad. So, let's dive in. Wednesday, November 26th, we have Miss Dillon admitting that she ran over Luna Nozawa and killed her, and then obviously drove away, probably in a panic. And I certainly hope that she knew it was Luna and not just someone random. I think she did, and I would expect Electra Forrester to protect Miss Dillon's secret to some extent, but I also expect Electra to tell Will Spencer, especially because he's going to follow up and ask Electra about those weird texts that she was getting about saying they needed to confess. We also have Steffi Forrester, and Finn, and Kelly Spencer, and Hayes Forrester Finnegan, and Taylor Hayes having Thanksgiving dinner over at Steffi's place. The family goes around and talks about what they're thankful for. Obviously, Luna being gone is at the top of the list of things to be thankful for. I'm sure they won't talk about that in front of the kids, though. There is supposed to be a surprise guest at Steffi and Finn's for Turkey Day. So, we know that Ridge Forrester is over there having dinner with them, so we have to see if Ridge is a surprise guest or if it is somebody else. And speaking of Thanksgiving in Los Angeles, we've got Daphne Rose and Carter Walton heading over to enjoy Thanksgiving dinner at Il Giardino. Hopefully, Sheila and Deacon Sharp are not serving turkey pizza or anything. I'm also certain that Luna's name is going to come up, which I think is going to be really awkward for Deacon and Sheila. Those two have a stark difference of opinion on the young woman who just died. I'm also wondering if we're going to see Taylor and Deacon getting a moment on Thanksgiving, because he may want to talk to Taylor about the whole Luna death incident. So there is a chance Deacon could drop by and he could be the surprise guest. We'll see. Hopefully, Ridge is gone by then. We should also see Hope and Liam Spencer with either the Spencers or over at the Logan estate. Maybe even the rest of them are going to be at the Forrester mansion. And Electra and Will, of course, are happy to celebrate their very first holiday together, and hopefully they will enjoy a moment to actually breathe, because the Luna thing is over, even with Dylan's confession. I mean, right, who cares that she ran her over? On Thursday, November 27th, we have got Bold and the Beautiful preempted for sports on Thanksgiving Day. And then again on Friday, November 28th, we have another preemption for sports. So if you wind up with anything taping under the Bold and the Beautiful logo on those 2 days, if your DVR goes haywire, be sure and delete it, because when they have reruns and preemptions, sometimes it messes up the DVR recordings for the following week. And we don't want to miss any new episodes. The week of December 1st through 5th on Bold and the Beautiful, we are going to have 5 brand new episodes. November sweeps is over. Luna is dead, but there's still going to be fallout from that. It's kind of karma, if you think about it, that Luna ran out in front of Miss Dillon's car and died because she completely terrorized that poor teacher. I think Electra might go to Will and they go to Bill Spencer and, get her a good lawyer to clear it all up. Because obviously, she was in shock. And it wasn't her fault because Luna ran right out in front of her. We may see Will struggling some in the aftermath of all this. Obviously, he is very relieved that Luna is dead and gone, but he did lose a child. Now, this is not a child that Will was planning on having, nor did he even actively and knowingly participate in the making of. But still, there is a loss there. And for me, Will is mostly a two-dimensional character who's a Nepo baby. His life has totally gone his way until Luna molested him. So, I think it'd be interesting if they gave him a little more character depth, and he did have a little bit of darkness or some grief of some sort to come out of this. Otherwise, he and Electra are going to be another boring couple to watch, like paint drying. Deacon is going to need more counseling sessions soon with Taylor, because of course he is happy that Luna is dead. But that doesn't bring back Deacon's friends, Tom Starr and Hollis, that she murdered. And of course, it doesn't help that Deacon has to watch Sheila grieving Luna's death when Deacon would happily dance on Luna's grave if he could. I'm wondering if Sheila may have some sort of spiral after losing her granddaughter Luna, because this means that Sheila is back to having no family. Finn is not in her life. Hayes is not allowed to be around her. And now Luna's gone. And pretty much all Sheila has at this point is Deacon and this fledgling friendship with Lee Finnegan. So hopefully Sheila is not going to go down the villain path, but since Deacon's got his mind on Taylor, it could happen. I'm also wondering if next week we may have some sort of memorial service for Luna. I think if they did, only Sheila and Lee might appreciate it or turn up for it. I don't even think Finn would show up for it. Poppy Nozawa would probably want to dance on her grave with Deacon. I think it's going to be a zero-interest event, but it would be interesting if they did that. Bill wants Katie Logan and Will to both come to work at Spencer Publications and get away from all the Forresters. This week, Brooke Logan and Donna Logan told Katie that they were trying to take the stress off of her by bringing in that outside PR firm. And while Katie understands it, I think Bill's going to try and take advantage of this to try and steal Katie from Forrester Creations. And right now, they've got PR coverage, so she could walk away and it would be kind of seamless. Now, I don't think there's much of a chance that Will would leave Forrester Creations for Spencer. I kind of doubt it because he loves Electra, and Will gets to see her at work every day. And staring at his parents is not a good substitute for being right there with his hot girlfriend at work. Finn and Steffi are focusing on moving forward free of the threat of Luna, because that's done and over forever. But we may see Finn still struggling a little bit with this. Katie's cardiac problems may cause some other health issues to develop. This can happen with heart transplant recipients. Plus, she had that new kidney a couple of years ago, so Katie's health may be at risk. And Hope and Liam's wedding planning resumes. So we're going to have Hope plotting exactly what she wants to do for her nuptials. And this may coincide with Thomas Forrester's return around Christmas time. Dylan confessed to Electra that she was the one who ran over Luna. What will happen next? On The Bold and the Beautiful, Tuesday, November 25th, 2025, Electra gets a surprise visit from Dylan. She had something to confess about the night that Luna died. Will and Electra wanted to get back to work. They wanted to keep their minds on something else, rather than Luna's crimes and death. However, they were still perplexed by the text message from the driver who had run over Luna. The last thing that Electra needed was someone else harassing her. Will advised her to keep it out of her mind, since the police deemed it an accident. Electra told Will that she would heed his advice. Will left the office to attend to other tasks. Then, Dylan interrupted Electra while she was working. Electra was ecstatic to see her old friend again. She wanted to know what brought her to Forrester. Dylan tried to sweeten her up with a coffee. She recalled the old times when they would meet up for coffee. Electra told Dylan that she's already had a bad day, but she's happy to know that Luna is out of their lives. Dylan looked like something was eating away at her. She told Electra that she got a new phone number. She apologized for not reaching out sooner. Electra was in awe over Dylan changing her life around and focusing on herself. Luna manipulated Dylan and made her think she was an origami teacher named Ms. Sunshine. Dylan can't imagine what would have happened if Luna had killed Steffi. She shuddered at the thought, but what she needed right now is a friend. Electra could tell something was wrong with her friend. However, Dylan claimed she turned a new leaf by living a peaceful life and working with children. Yet, she had something to confess. Dylan didn't want Electra to think differently of her after this. She explained that she was driving along the beach the other night. Out of nowhere, someone ran into the road. Dylan admitted that it was an accident. The police already knew. She spoke with them already. Electra was in shock as she asked, "You ran over Luna?" Then she assured Dylan that they would take on this burden together. But will Electra stick to her word? Or will she share this information with Will? With Luna gone, what will challenge Electra and Will's relationship next? The police already know, but they're not willing to release the name of the driver. What could happen if Dylan's secret is exposed? With Thanksgiving barely over, on screen anyway, Steffi and Finn's peaceful household is about to be rocked yet again on Bold and Beautiful. Plus, the latest preview has Bill trying to convince Katie to make a big move, and Ridge suggesting Eric make some changes in his life as well. And you can probably guess how the Forrester patriarch reacts to his son's idea. Just when they thought it was safe to break out the pumpkin pie, Finn and Steffi's big family Thanksgiving is interrupted when Dylan arrives at their door. She had previously confessed to Electra that she's the one who ran down Luna, and now she's here to beg Luna's father for forgiveness. How will Finn react? In the midst of the Luna's demise aftershocks, Brooke and Ridge hired an outside PR firm to deal with it, so Katie wouldn't have to. Of course, that's what Katie's job is, and apparently, yes, she does work occasionally. Finally, Ridge suggests to Eric that he do something fun for a change, like ride off into the sunset and forget about work. Ridge clearly hasn't learned his lesson, as nobody gives Eric Forrester orders on how to live his life. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers and updates suggest that we might need to entertain the intriguing idea of a long-lost twin storyline for Luna Nozawa. Is it possible then the show could introduce a shocking twist that has the potential to alter everything we know? In a stunning turn of events, Luna met her demise after bravely stepping in front of a moving vehicle amidst all the escape chaos. Fans are still grappling with the show's decision to abruptly eliminate Luna, effectively bringing her narrative to an unexpected and jarring halt. Simultaneously, many viewers expressed their disgust over Luna's actions towards Will Spencer, as she behaved as if they had created a child out of genuine love. Although Luna eventually came to terms with the fact that her actions were misguided, it was ultimately too little, too late. It seems plausible that the writers felt they had penned Luna into a rather uncomfortable situation that would be challenging to navigate out of. This could have been one of the reasons why B&B ultimately erased Luna from existence and attempted to move on from this entire situation. Nevertheless, Lisa Yamada is an exceptional performer who recently earned a Daytime Emmy and appears to be quite popular among the cast and crew. It's unfortunate that Yamada had to leave, but there's always a chance she could come back as a completely different character. What if Luna has a twin sister out there somewhere? We wouldn't be surprised if Poppy Nozawa kept such a secret, but it's also possible that Poppy believed the other baby perished at birth. Alternatively, perhaps Poppy had another daughter who was taken from her. It could be an intriguing twist if Luna's twin shows up and is initially mistaken for a resurrected Luna. The story of the long-lost sister could eventually unfold, giving John Finn Finnegan an opportunity to be a genuine father to a daughter who might not be completely insane. Naturally, In true soap opera style, another surprise could arise once everyone lowers their defenses. Maybe it will eventually be revealed that Luna is indeed alive and merely pretending to be this twin to achieve the new life she has always desired. Extra points if Luna's impersonating twin actually ends up with Will. Ultimately, there are ways to reverse Luna's fate and keep Lisa Yamada in the mix.